my name is Kennedi, and this is... Hello everyone, my name is Kennedi Bedell, and this is the art of. If you didn't hear it before, now you know. Let's get into the episode. Today, we get to talk about my favorite topic, which is me. Yay! Not really, kind of, a little bit, but not for real. But yes, kind of. Anyways, we talked about what the show is about and everything that it includes. Now we get to talk about your host. I know you're wondering, why do you have a basketball? Because this episode is about me. No, I'm not a basketball player, but I just turned 24, and you know what that means. It's my Kobe year. Yeah. Not only that, but me and Kobe have the same initials. Shout out to the man, okay? And also, that's why I also have this Lakers uniform on. Really, what this year is about is focusing on having that mentality, that Mamba mentality that he had. Like locking in with all my goals, everything that I want to do in life. This is the year that it all starts. If you heard in the trailer, he explained it. Mamba mentality is getting better, waking up every day and making sure you're getting better, doing something to get better, to progress. And that's where I'm at in my life. Like every single day is adding something to my life. Just doing something to work towards my goals, doing something with a purpose, doing something to achieve everything that I've ever wanted for my life. That's where I'm at. And I'm excited to be here. I actually love it. So yeah, we on Mamba mentality all year. That's the theme for the year. That's why I got this basketball. That's why the basketball was in my photo shoot. So we're gonna go through all the stages of my life, and yeah, we're just gonna get into it. So starting off as a child, like as a baby, I was very like standoffish. Didn't want nobody to touch me, hug me, hold me, none of that. I mean, obviously I don't remember, but my mom tells me all the time. I just give them a stank stare every single time. Why I was like that, I don't know. But she said, I only like my mama, I only wanted my mama, which it kind of makes sense. It kind of checks out. Grow up a little bit. And as I got like older, it was so weird. As I got older, it changed like a lot. I was very kind and sweet and just genuine and so loving. Like I love to be around people, love to be around family and stuff. I was also sensitive at the time, and I like hated being sensitive. And all of my like family members, my core family members, they knew I was sensitive, but I hated it so much. Like I was so sensitive to the point where like you could say a little joke and it'll start making me cry. And not to everyone, just like the core people in my family, like the closest people, like my parents, my siblings, my close cousins and aunties and stuff. Like they could say a lot and it would make me cry like instantly, because I don't know, my feelings would get hurt so bad. And I hated crying so much that I remember one day I made a pact with myself. This is right before middle school. I made a pact. I was like, I'm not going to cry no more. I'm not going to be sensitive. I'm not going to be upset. And like from that point forward, it was like a switch. Like I did not cry for real. I was not upset. Like it totally just switched off. So now we're in like middle school and high school. And I mean, life's good. Like I don't get upset. I don't get fazed. Like it just was what it was. But I think somewhere in this point in time, like I kind of overcompensated. Like anything that was like, could make me sad, anything that can make me cry, I steered away from, like completely, totally. I was like, I'm not doing it if it can make me cry. I'm not putting my all into it. Like I'm not doing that, because I just didn't like the feelings of being, upset. And I felt like I felt like crying. Oh, that was like a sign of weakness. I 100% felt like that. And I did want to feel weak. And so like I did things that made me not feel weak. Like even with softball, working out and stuff, like I always made sure like, oh, I'm the strongest in here. Like even if I wasn't the strongest, as long as I was among the top, like, because if you know me, I'm kind of petite a little bit, just a little bit. But kind of like among the smallest on every team I've ever had. So with that, like, I'm like, oh, as long as I'm in the top realm of like strength, I'm good. And I just overcompensated in different ways to ensure that I didn't feel weak and no one saw me as, you know, weak in a sense. Well, that was like middle school and high school. So fast forward to college. College KB. Oh my gosh, y'all, my freshman year of college was the best. Like my first semester freshman year of college and pre-college was, it was so fun. I had an amazing time. Like I was flourishing on all levels. Academically, I had great grades. And mind you, like before, I didn't have bad grades before, but I never really tried to. So, athletically, I was doing good. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start as a freshman. Socially, I mean, me and my friends had an amazing time. Financially, I had the most money I ever had. All of these aspects of my life were just flourishing. I was good. Like, I was like, this is exactly how I imagined it. Like, I knew it was gonna be like this. I was happy. Then fast forward to second semester freshman year, everything switched. Everything was totally different. And this is before COVID even came. Everything was terrible. I kid you not. Like academically, it was so bad. I remember looking at Blackboard and all my grades were red at one point. Athletically, I couldn't catch a ball to save my life. I couldn't hit a ball to save my life. Socially, I started realizing people moving a little weird. Had to step back from them. Financially, I was doing fine financially. I was a little cheap at this time. So the fact of me spending money, I was like, I don't really like that. But financially, I was fine, but everything else, terrible. And then I think another issue, I always look at my parents as an example of what my life should look like. My parents are very successful. So I look at them for example of like how I should live, how I should do things. And one of the things my parents did, they met in college at their HBCU. So I was like always, even since a young child, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna meet my husband at college at my HBCU. I'm excited because they met at a HBCU. Shout out to K-State, shout out to Thoroughbreds. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna meet my husband in college. Like this is gonna be perfect. And like, it ain't no sign of a husband in sight. I kid you not. So I'm like, I'm stressed about that. I mean, just everything was going through my mind. So it took a toll on me so bad because I'm like, what is going on? Last semester was amazing. This one, I don't know what to do. And I just remember the breakdown comes. I probably failed like 2 or 3 tests that day. I had a terrible practice, like probably the worst practice of my career ever. And this was just like, I remember it being such a hard day. And I remember after practice, I went to the dorm and I was just crying and I was crying and I was crying. Like I could not stop crying. And I was like, maybe I should call my parents. Maybe I should call my siblings. But no, my siblings not going to understand. Like, they're not going to be able to know what to tell me. Maybe I should call my friends from back home. No, because they just not going to take me serious. Da, 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 da. So then I was like, okay, my roommate's going to come back soon. I got to get myself together. So I get in the shower to like try to freshen my face up. When I was a little kid, I learned how to like freshen my face up so it looked like I wasn't crying. So I get in the shower, try to freshen my face up. Like it's not working because in the shower, I'm still crying. And I'm like freaking out. Like this is probably going on hour 2. And I'm like, okay, I gotta leave. I gotta get some fresh air. But to get outside, there's a lobby in my dorm. I stayed in BC Suite, shout out to Sweeties. But there's a lobby in my dorm and everybody always hangs out in the lobby, including me. Like I'm usually out there kicking it with everybody. And I was like, dang, how am I gonna walk through these people? They gonna see that I've been crying. I'm like, okay, let me come up with something. I was like, oh, I just tell them I took my contacts out. Perfect, yeah. So I walk out in the lobby and immediately they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, oh, I just had to take my contacts out. Now, did they buy it? I have no idea. Probably not because like when I cry, my entire face, puffy, red, like you can tell. And because I was crying so much, I don't think I was able to get it together. But I did stop crying just to walk out the lobby. Once I got past everybody, oh, the tears started flowing again. So I walk outside, I go sit on the waterfront, and it's nighttime, so like can't nobody see me, none of that. I sit on the waterfront and I'm just bawling tears. It's probably going on 2.5 hours now. And I'm like, man, I'm going back and forth. She's like, oh, my mom, my dad, I don't know. Then I get a call from my mom, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a sign for me to answer. So I answer, and I'm like, hello. And she's like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? And you know, moms are really there just to like comfort you and tell you everything's gonna be okay and tell you you're amazing, which is not what I needed at the time. So right after I got off the phone with my mom, my dad called me. He asked me what was wrong, and I had to express it and I had to explain it, which at this point I'm very bad at. I don't want to do it at all. But I'm telling him like my grades are bad. Like I can't do anything in softball. I'm single. Like I'm just expressing everything. And he's like not the comforting type. He's just gonna give you a strategy and you go with it, which is what I really needed at that time. And he was like, I mean, okay, make sure for your grades, make sure you're doing everything that you can. Go to the study hours. Make sure you're turning in work on time. Like you're smart. Like you can do it. Like you just. And then he said softball, like you're overthinking it. That's all it is. Like you're overthinking it. You're in your head too much. And then he's like, in terms of being single, don't become desperate. If you become desperate, that's going to lead you down a bad path. And it's going to open up a lot of doors that you don't want to open up. And I mean, that was, in a small version, that was like his advice to me, which helped. It made me feel better. And when we got off the phone, I finally like kind of get myself together and I go back in the room. And I tell you, up until that point, I've never cried that hard before, like that bad, that hard. I was so upset. And so fast forward a little bit, my mom's asking me how I'm doing. I'm like, I'm better. This is probably a week or two that, has gone by. She's checking in every day really, but I remember I'm like, I'm better. Like I feel better. I'm like, I have a plan to get back on track and stuff. And she was like, okay, good. She was like, make sure you're praying. I was like, yeah, I am. Like, you don't cry like that. Well, I don't cry like that and not pray, But in the moment, the prayers was not working. I was upset, y'all. I was so upset. So, yeah, I'm making like little progress. I'm getting my grades up a little bit. I'm doing a little bit better in softball. So, I'm not worried about the friendships that are, just being little. I'm just kind of more focused on, the main thing. And so I remember after practice one time, I get to notice that we get to go home because it's COVID. I'm so excited, y'all, because I'm like, oh, I probably was just homesick. I get to go back home, experience, be with my family, my friends, and then come back and everything will be fine. The first week that I'm there, it's amazing. I'm hanging out with my family, my friends, like everything's great. Everything is like a total shift. Then we had to spend 2 weeks in quarantine and amazing. Like I had a great time. I had so much fun by myself. I was just out of like the college world and doing all that stuff, work and stuff. I was great. But then quarantine continued. And this is like when everything started to settle in. All the negative stuff that was happening at school, it came back. And when you're in a like state of isolation like that, because we're not going outside. I'm not touching no grass, like none of that. Like I'm not even getting fresh air. I'm just in my room constantly. And all of my thoughts are pretty negative. And so at this point in time, it weighed on me like super heavy to a point where even after quarantine stopped, I was irritated with everyone. Like I didn't like my friends. I didn't like my family. Like I just didn't like being around people because I was super irritable. I was super like just mad and angry at the world. And I really couldn't tell you why. In the moment, I would have blamed it on everybody else. Like I'm irritated with everybody and it's everybody else's fault. But like, I think I was just in a state of just so much sorrow that I was, just placing it on everybody else. And if you remember, I told you I did not like to feel sad at all, upset. So like this is even weighing on me even heavier. And the reason I was so angry was because I wasn't allowing myself to feel those sad emotions. So the anger was just festering. And I'm trying to like not be angry, but it's like because I've set aside all of my emotions of sadness, it comes out in the form of anger, which at the time I didn't notice. I didn't know this. I just knew I was mad. I knew everybody was pissing me off. It got to a point where like, it was getting even worse. It felt like it was getting worse and worse and worse. And I just remember like me and my brother will hang out a lot during COVID, like a lot. And he's like the one person out of everybody who really did not irritate me. And this is the crazy thing, because if you know me and my brother's relationship, growing up, we were not cool at all. Didn't like each other at all. A point in time, like when we were in high school, we did not speak to each other. I kid you not. So like for it to turn around and us be like the closest, us talking every day, us hanging out, like us just doing stuff together. I mean, it's something that I really needed, and he don't really know, but like that time of my life was so bad, and that's all I needed. I didn't need him to like give me advice. I didn't need him to like be a shoulder I can cry on. I just needed the laughter that he provided. He was my emotional support, but he didn't know because I never told him. He just helped me through that time a lot. Also, it's like August, and my mom's like, oh, there's this church I'm thinking about going to in October. I think you really like the pastor. The pastor is like, she like a little ghetto, but she country, but she knows her stuff. Like, I think you would like her. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll go. So up until this point, like I haven't been to church consistently since I was 12. So I'm like, maybe, we'll see. And then October rolls around, and she was like, you want to go with me? And I was like, okay, sure. And I mean, I think that was kind of a life-changing experience. I walk in, and the lady, she's, you know, walking around just speaking to everyone, like speaking and praying and stuff. And then she's like spanning the room, and she stops at me and she looks at me. Now, first of all, when she looked at me, I'm like, oh my God, like, why is she looking at me like that? But she was like, I just want to give you a hug. Y'all, she gave me a hug, and oh my gosh, y'all, I started crying again. Like the tears were just flowing again. Could not stop them. And you know, I'm trying to hold them back because I don't like crying in front of people, but she hugs me, and it's like the most warm and comforting hug. And I'm like, oh my gosh, tears, bawling. And so like when you experience that level of comfort, when you're in such a hard place, you want to continue to experience that and continue to like hold on tight to that. So obviously I kept going back to the church, and every time that I went, they were so encouraging. They were so like loving. It was just always so much peace that surrounded them in that church. So I kept going back. And I think, so yeah, just experiencing that church was just so life-changing. Like people that could see me, because everybody else around did not notice that I was just going through it. Okay, I was crying myself to sleep every night. It was so bad, y'all. It was so bad. I was just like, God, help me. Like, I was so sad. And it really, like, it definitely got worse before it got better. Definitely. And I could not, like, I knew it was going to get better. I knew I was going to be okay. Like, that wasn't the problem. But it was just like, while I'm in it, I don't know when it's going to be over. Because it keeps getting worse. Like, how is it getting worse when I'm doing, you know, everything right, right in a sense. So now just learning how to actually build a relationship with God at that point helped me a lot. Like I remember even before I went to Hampton, my cousin, she attended Hampton. She told me a lot, gave me a lot of advice about Hampton. But I remember one thing she told me was, you're going to have to form a relationship with God, like on your own, not through your parents, like on your own. And I was like, oh, I know God. Like, yeah, cool. Like we tight. Like, I pray. But that was like the gist of my relationship with him, just praying. And when I say prayer, I mean, thank you, God, for this day. I just pray that I have good dreams. Good night. Bye. Like that was my prayer at the end of every day. Like that was it. Okay. Wasn't reading the word, wasn't doing none of that. So probably around October, I used to go to my aunt's house, like that was like 40 minutes away, my family's house that was like 40 minutes away, because I just needed to get away from the people that I was seeing every day. So I used to go to her house a lot. Plus she was just moving to Georgia, so I can help them move in. This is my great aunt. So while I go visit my great aunt, my aunt lives there, so I go see her too. So I went to my aunt's house, and I remember just hanging out there for a couple of hours. And I remember I went to the back room to do something, and my uncle, he comes in and he talks to me. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna cry thinking about it. He's like, are you sure? He's like, I got sons too, and they've been through stuff, and I know sometimes you might not want to talk to your parents, but are you okay? And I was like, yeah, what you mean? Like trying to play it off? But y'all, I'm struggling the whole time he's asking me this, because I know at this point, I know I'm not okay. He said, are you sure? Because you're not smiling the way you used to. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what do you mean? He's like, your smile is not the same as it used to be. Y'all, I had to leave his house immediately after that, because the tears, they just flowed. Because like nobody else noticed. He noticed, and the ladies from church noticed. And that's it. And I was just like, what? Like, how does he notice? Sometimes the people closest to you aren't able to notice it. But like you're around someone who knows you, but who hasn't been around you a lot, they are able to notice it more. I'm just like, how how did he notice that? Like how? And like it was a little bit of like relief knowing that someone sees you, but also kind of scared because like, is it that bad? Like, do you see that much? Like, is it showing that bad? And I thank him. I really do thank him for, I need to text him because I still have never thanked him for that. So now, fast forward to summer 2021, and I'm like, bro, I just want to get back to enjoying my life. I want to have fun again. So I get away from everybody, you know, that I've been around for so long. I go stay the summer in California with my cousin. And we had a great time. A blast, y'all. A blast. Had so much fun. Enjoyed every bit of it, okay? But like, I was enjoying life so much to the point where I kind of lost the main principles. Like I wasn't reading my Bible. I wasn't praying at all like I used to. I wasn't focusing on getting better. I was just getting lit and having fun and just going out. And we was going to this party and this kickback and we were staying out to 3 a.m. Just all of it, okay? And I just wasn't focused on my goals and my future at all. And so since I had so much fun that summer, I'm like, oh, now we're going back to school in the fall. Like we got to recreate this summer into a school year. So now going into my junior year, my main goal is to have fun. It's not to do good in softball. It's not to focus on my grades or my future or my career. No, it's to have fun. And that's exactly what I did. And I carried that on to senior year too. But the thing with that is you cannot make fun your purpose. Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, I did it, but it's just like when you make fun your main goal, you lose a lot of other principles. A lot. Like everything else kind of went out the way. If I had fun doing it, I was going to do it. If I didn't, I wasn't going to do it. So schoolwork, I mean, I had the same grades that I've always had. Like I did not lack on schoolwork. Now, the actual education and learning part, yeah, I lacked. I took physics. I got an A in it. I think I got a B and an A. Could not tell you a thing about physics. You could ask me any question. You could ask me the simplest question about physics and I couldn't tell you a thing. Which is really bad because my whole goal in life is to become a doctor, but we're gonna get into that. Main goal is fun and I'm having fun. Just doing all the things, like going out, just enjoying the people around me. Really an amazing time. Like no worries until you gotta sit back and look at like, oh shoot, I'm not prepared at all. And at this point, at the beginning of junior year, I wasn't playing softball because we didn't have a coach. But I think we got a coach like September. So that comes back around. Mind you, from spring 2020 all the way to fall 21, I did not touch a softball. I did not think about a softball. I did not hold a bat. Like, I didn't do anything with softball because I was so, like, I just was so over it. I just didn't care. So getting back into a sport, I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. But I mean, I had a good season, hella decent season, but child, that season was rough, okay? It was rough because the coaches made it rough. I had a great time. I loved my teammates. My teammates made the experience amazing. Like if I didn't have my teammates, I don't know what I would have done. But that's a whole nother story. I'm gonna have my teammates come on the show and we're gonna talk about the art of surviving a D1 sport. And we're gonna get into all the details. But my junior year was definitely better than, you know, the past 2 years. Now, senior year, we got to have fun. Like, we got to do everything, you know? But I'm also realizing, hey, I'm about to graduate. I got to lock in a little bit. So I go talk to my advisor and she was like, you know you're behind, right? What you mean behind? Like, not behind to graduate. Never that. But since I wanted to be a doctor and go to med school, there's courses you had to take. And she was like, yeah, there's a couple courses you had to take. So now I'm stressed. I'm like, no, I'm like, you know what? I'll just take a gap year. I'm not prepared to take the MCAT anyways. Like, I'll take a gap year. It's fine. So I'm going back to having fun. Like, I ain't got too much to focus on. And I only have a couple classes because I was supposed to graduate early because of the softball thing. That got messed up. Senior year, I'm doing everything that is directed to having a great time, but nothing holds any weight in my life. I think around spring semester, it really started to weigh on me because it's like, hey, you about to graduate and all you care about is having a great time. And it's like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, dang. So then I'm like, okay, let me get it together. So I applied for some internships. Didn't get into any of those. I fell out with one of my friends. I was messing with this guy, fell out with him. So now it's don't got no internships. Fell out with one of your friends. Fell out with the guy. Now it's just like, I'm upset, y'all. I'm so upset. Back again. My roommate was gone for a week. I cried every single day that she was gone. I kid you not. I was so upset. I was so frustrated. I'm like, life is not going how it's supposed to go. Like, no. I was so frustrated, y'all. Like, not gonna lie, I crashed out 2 nights. And that's when I realized, like, yeah, you got anger issues. Like, my family always would say it, and I'll just laugh at it because I'm like, bro, I do not have anger issues. those nights, those 2 nights, oh yeah, I realized anger issues. Bad. Like, I crashed out. Bad. And Mo, my roommate, Mo, she was not there for those 2 nights either. Thank God. Just thinking about it, it's almost kind of scary, like how mad I was. I was mad because I was not prepared for my career. I was mad because just everything, y'all. Like, I remember I was laying in my dorm and my sister called me. Now, mind you, me and my sister, my whole 4 years in college, we probably talked on the phone like twice. Like, I can count on one hand, I kid you not, how many times we talked on the phone. And we were talking and chatting about like everything that was going on in my life. And I remember, and I was like, you know what? I just realized, like, I never worked. Like, I never given my all to anything. Like, I never put my all into anything. And she was like, yeah, I don't think I have either. And I was just sitting there thinking about it. And I was like, yeah, that's going to change. Like, that's going to change. Now, it did not change immediately because, like I said, I'm trying to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to graduate. We finna enjoy it. This is probably like March, maybe. Yeah. February, March, April. All in that, yeah, those 3 months, that's when all this happened. So around that time, I was mad. And I just remember feeling so overwhelmed. And anytime I got that overwhelmed feeling, I'll go walk the campus for at least an hour. And I would go far too, because I'm like, can't nobody see me. I'm not walking the waterfront because people gonna be on there. I would walk towards the, like, I don't know what it is over there, but I used to walk over there and nobody be over there. The fresh air, like, it just helped. It did. And I just remember wanting to leave Hampton so bad, even though I was having a great time enjoying senior year. I was. All the senior festivities, every memory I made, everyone I was hanging out with, I was having an amazing time. But like, when I wasn't hanging out with them, it was just like, I was so overwhelmed. And I was like, man, I can't wait to leave. I'm ready to graduate. Then I graduate. Even after I graduated, I was still enjoying graduation parties, just the excitement of being done with school. So now, you know, my dad's talking to me. He's like, no, you need to study for the MCAT. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So I start studying probably like that fall. And y'all, I started with physics because I was like, let's get the worst one out the way. And it was like the shortest portion of the MCAT. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, I was looking at that book. It was a foreign language to me. I'm trying to read it, not comprehending anything. I don't even understand, bro. I don't, like, what? So I take a break from that. New Year runs around, 2024, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna start with biology, the subject I love and I know. I started with that and it's going, but I'm like, this is terrible. Like, I should have known then because I love my Kennedi classes. Like, even studying for them, I liked. Like, I didn't necessarily want to do it, but when I did it, I loved it. But I was studying, I wasn't working, I wasn't in school. I was studying probably 6 to 8 hours a day. I'll go to the library, take a break in the middle, go home to eat lunch, and then go back to the library. I was doing this and I was just like, yeah, this is cool, but like, I want something else. And in 23, I started working on Project 1 and I loved it. Like, I fell in love with it. Even the hardships, even like the difficulties that came with it, I loved it and I endured it. And I should have known then that is what I should have been doing. But I don't know, I always felt like I had to go back to school. I always wanted to be a doctor ever since I was a child. Like, both my parents are doctors. I told you, I model everything that I do. Like, I look at my parents for example of life. And I also romanticize it a lot. Like, I was like, a black girl, white coat. I was supposed to be the next Bailey, y'all. Next Bailey. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be Bailey. Like, I love the idea of that. I mean, the money that it brought in, I was like, why would I not choose this? Like, that was my career. Like, I knew I was doing that. But the more I kept pursuing it, I was like, bro, I literally remember waking up every day and I was like, man, do I want to do this? I don't know if I want to do this. And chances are, if I'm asking myself that every single day, I don't want to do it. You know, I was just praying on it and I finally made the decision, like, this is not what I want to do. Like, I have to let this go. So I let it go. And now it gets to a point of like, okay, now I got to figure out, what am I going to do? I'm not going to be a doctor. So what is it? Going back and forth, like, I got to figure something out. And so I was like, okay, I'll do athletic training and personal training. Which even then, I didn't feel 100% about athletic training, but I was like, this is the closest thing. Like, I ain't got nothing else. So I started pursuing that. And then fast forward to this summer. And I'm like, hey, Pops, like, I don't think I want to do athletic training anymore. And if you know my whole career story of how up and down it was, you understand he's like scratching his head like, okay, what are you going to do then? Like, at this point, he's just like kind of going with the flow and just let me speak. And, I explain my plans to him, and he, we talk about it. And everybody has a clear understanding of what I'm doing, of what I'm trying to do, which is this and a couple other things, okay? We're working towards it. But I say all that to say, like, now I'm in a position of my life where everything I do has purpose. Yes, I'm still having fun. I love to have fun. I love to have a good little laugh. But what's more important than anything, one, is my relationship with God, getting closer to God, reading my word, praying, all that every day, being consistent with him. Two is my purpose in life. What am I here for? What I was created for? And I remember fall 2023, I was working on project one, and I was like, bro, this is my gift. Creativity is my gift. Like, I'm good at this. I've never had anything that I can claim as mine. And this is mine. Like, I can do this. This is it. It's always been here. But because I was like so preoccupied with softball and having fun, and I kind of like didn't focus on that gift at all. Didn't even think about it. Till COVID, I started painting again and realized, oh, I love this. And it's so peaceful. And then it just, from there, it's like, hey, I love this. Like working on this show, love it. I love it. It frustrates me. Because last week, oh my gosh, I was ready to throw in the towel last Monday. But I got through it, and I'm gonna keep getting through it. But I mean, even the frustration, take the good with the bad. So yeah, I realized my purpose was to create things. And that's where I'm at, just going along with that. Now, to your favorite part of the show. Question of the week.
The question of the week was, if you could travel anywhere for vacation, where would you go? My simple answer is New York. It will always be New York. But my long answer is, I simply don't have enough money to maintain the lifestyle of traveling from country to country. So until then, I will continue to travel in the States. And my favorite place in the States will always be Brooklyn. Before you leave, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.